She wants to be in the video today. Shall I just sit here then? Can't move her, can I? Right, Mike. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm just gonna scooch on over here. Is that okay, Willow? Oh, I don't move. She'll jump off. Oh, I knew she would do that. Anyway, I can get comfy now without feeling guilty. Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So it's great to be back. We've had a little break and we're back. And today's video is going to be all about our 8 months of living in Australia. So we moved to the Sunshine Coast 8 months ago from the UK. So we're going to talk about the benefits of living here from our perspective and the downfalls of living here, as well as what it's like to make friends and our future plans. Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, and just like for anyone who's kind of wondering and thinking of doing the same, what it's like 8 months down the line, or at least from our perspective.
Yeah, so let's go.
So for those of you who are watching us for the first time, a little bit about us. We moved here from the UK. We both had really secure jobs, a house, and we gave all of that up to try it out on the other side of the world.
Yeah, it was a bit crazy. We decided to move here and we didn't know anybody here. We didn't have any relations here, any friends here. We had never even visited Australia, and we just packed up our whole life and came over here. Why? Hang on, now when you say it like that, why did we do that?
England is a nice place for some, but it just really didn't fit our lifestyle and what we wanted out of life. We much prefer the outdoory lifestyle and the weather here that provides that.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously there was higher wages here as well.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much the weather and the wages.
And it's just a gorgeous place to live. Like the landscape of Australia is so pretty.
I know, and we haven't even seen like 1% probably of it. So yeah, so we sold our house, our first ever house in England, where we actually got engaged in that house as well. So we've got lots of lovely memories of that house. So that was really hard because you know what I'm like, I'm quite sentimental, so I attach a lot of things to things. So that was a big move for us. And then we moved here, we packed up everything on a shipping container as well. We came over with a suitcase each and...
Literally just a suitcase.
And that's it. And we went from there, didn't we? So, yeah, it's crazy looking back at it actually.
Yeah, we spent a lot of money in Kmart that first day.
Yeah. You can't ever really prepare yourself for is how tough it actually is. Like, it is hard. People will say that, and a lot of people said that to us before we moved over here. You know it's going to be hard, don't you? And we're like, yeah, but we're just like, oh, we just want to go to the beach, and you kind of shrug it off. You're like, I'll be fine. I mean, it will be fine in the end, but I think it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I think you think you're stronger than what you are sometimes, and you forget things like the jet lag and you know, saying bye to everyone. It all kind of like lumps in as one, and obviously experience a whole new place that you're unfamiliar with. It can be really overwhelming. Yeah,
it definitely can be overwhelming. And I also think that it's not even just the move from England to here, it was also all of the lead up to it. So the whole visa process was stressful in itself, and we had a pretty straightforward ride. So we're on a 190 visa, skilled visa with permanent residency, fortunately, because I was a primary school teacher, so we kind of got in through that. And that was hardcore because you had so many tests and different documents you had to get signed and send off, and so that whole process was stressful. It was like a huge life admin that you had to go through. And then obviously you got the whole actual moving process as well. So we sold a house, so we moved house and lived somewhere else for 6 months. Yeah. And then we obviously had the move cube, so we had to pack up again. And then we moved here, so we had to set up again and buy everything for this house. So it was all like a lot of changes and a lot of moving and packing.
And obviously with the 2 cats as well, that just adds a little bit extra on
top. My gosh, yeah. Oh, and getting the cats over here, that was so stressful. I don't think I've ever cried so much in my life. But yeah, that whole process, obviously getting the cats over here, that's a whole nother, almost like a whole visa process just for them. Yeah. And then obviously when they were in quarantine for 30 days in Melbourne, that was heartbreaking. But they're here now, we're all good. So, but I think it's not just, you just moved to Australia, you got on a plane and you got here. It was the whole process is really like, when you look back at it, was
Yeah.
absolutely crazy, and it's still ongoing now. There's still things, you know, that we're battling with and dealing with now, so it's still ongoing really. But yeah, it's like a good 2 years of our life. It's probably been about 2.5 years, this whole process,
Oh,
from
yeah,
when we
yeah,
first
definitely.
started it to now.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of changes, and I think you've kind of got to give yourself a bit of space for that.
Yeah, definitely. And then there's the financial side of it as well, isn't there? Like, it's a very expensive move, and then once you're here, you then, if you don't have a job already, it can be extra stressful.
Yeah, so we moved here and we didn't have any jobs lined up either. So we had a house, but the cats were in quarantine and we had to get jobs, which can be really tough when you're first in a brand new country. Don't know how the systems work, or you don't know anybody, like you don't have any contacts, which obviously we know that can go far and that can help. So yeah, that was tough.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just a lot of spinning plates.
exactly. Yeah, there's a lot going on. And with nobody around you to support you, which is why it was so important for us to obviously make friends. And you have to kind of put yourself out there. It's a bit weird. Like, we just met up with people from Facebook, which obviously be careful with that. But, you know, but you just have to put yourself out there. And I've always said it's a bit like dating. You have to go around and talk to different people and see who are your kind of people and who you want to, you know, become friends with and stuff. So that can be really hard and exhausting sometimes, and a bit overwhelming too.
Yeah, and also friendships, you can't really force them. As much as you want to make friends when you're here, you're not going to click with everyone, or everyone's not going to be your cup of tea. So it might not always work out straight away, and it does take time to accumulate the right people. Yeah, sometimes that can feel a bit, you feel like you can put all this effort in and not get much out of it,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's tough as well. You know, you have to kind of find your place here, and that's all part of settling in, isn't it, as well?
And finding your people.
Exactly. And also, it's like coming here, we don't have a support network at all. You know, we came here without knowing anybody, and you kind of have to build that support network from scratch. And obviously a lot of people move here, so a lot of other people are in that position as well. So, you know, you're making friends with other people that also need that support network, so you kind of end up relying on each other more than you probably would have if you had another support network. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So what are the benefits of living here, would you say? What do you think has changed? How have your perceptions changed of your life and where you're at now? I'm the interviewer here, you're the interviewee.
I would definitely say that our day-to-day lives are, I'd say they're pretty similar. You know, working life is pretty much Monday to Friday. You're not going to do a whole lot, but I do notice that when I'm driving home, I'm just like, this landscape is so pretty,
And
and
you
it
know,
just changes your mood in a way, subconsciously, I'd say.
yeah, it does. And do you know what I always look out for when I'm driving? Every single morning, I always look out for kangaroos, because I saw them, I think twice I've seen them driving in the morning. So every time I go out, I'm like, oh, I know the patches where the kangaroos like to hang out, so I just keep a little look out. Like, that's just pretty cool.
Yeah, or seeing cockatoos on the lampposts and stuff, like just all these exotic animals that we've never seen before, that you'd go to a zoo for normally, and they're just out here living life. It's crazy. Or the lorikeets as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, and I think just the weather in general is more sunnier and better, so that, for me, that does a massive uplift in my mood.
You say that, it's been raining all weekend, it's been a bit cold, hence why I'm in like a huge
It's been a
cuddly
little bit
teddy
light.
bear jumper. But it's nice to have those days, because you can get like snuggly. Like, I always thought coming to Australia, obviously it's hot most of the year round, but you do get days where it is a bit chilly and you can just like cuddle up. Like, you don't need like huge winter coats and a winter hat and scarves and 20 layers. It's not that cold, like just a little jumper, and it's nice enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's cute.
I'd say the weather and just the environment's a lot more natural, and it's just, yeah, it does something to your mood. I can't explain it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel in my head a lot more happy, I
Aww.
think, from the natural, compared to England anyway. I think England's very grey, very dark, and it rains a lot.
Yeah.
So that always, I
And
think, used to get me down.
and I know people say, well, oh, I don't really like the sun, so I wouldn't move there. And I get that. Like, you might not like the heat and the humidity, but you don't realise how much the weather actually affects your mood until you've tried the opposite and had something that really lifts your mood. I think it has a bigger impact than you would know unless you did it yourself. That you wouldn't know unless you did it yourself.
Yeah, it feels like we're on holiday, like.
Yeah. Like we'll go for a walk and we're just like, even if it's the same walk that we've done a million times, and just pinch ourselves and just think, oh my God, it's so pretty. And we just take photos every time. Like that novelty still hasn't worn off after 8 months of being here, which I kind of like. Like I think it's important to be grateful and appreciate those things that you know, as soon as you came here, it kind of took you by surprise and that you loved so much. Like still kind of remind yourself of those things. I think that helps with really trying to settle in and
100%.
make your mark here, you know. Because it's easy to kind of go down like a rabbit hole and obviously you kind of look at the other country that you've come from through rose tinted glasses. And I get that there's obviously a lot of lovely things there. Like obviously you've got your friends and your family, and perhaps other securities and familiarities that perhaps, you know, are quite comforting. Yeah, it's kind of easy to look at all of that and idolise it and kind of glamorise it and think, oh, it'd be so much better there. But there was a reason why we came here in the first place, which is what I think we've got to remind ourselves about.
Yeah. Why
did we leave in the first place? Like in everyday life, we wanted an element of, I don't know how to explain it. I think we wanted the option every weekend to at least be able to explore somewhere new we haven't been before. Obviously make the most of the weather and the beautiful scenery and the things that this country has to offer, like the beautiful national parks and the beaches and the walks and things like that. I think it's easy to look back and try and think, should we move back to England?
No.
Silence says everything. But I can see why people debate it and why people do move back there, because it's familiar, and familiar makes a person feel comfortable, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I think, but also it's hard, ain't it? I'd say like the family and friends thing is probably the biggest pull as well.
Gosh, yeah.
And it is hard to fight that some days, I'd say.
Yeah, 100%. And I think especially, you know, if you have a family and children, I completely understand why you'd want them around family and friends for that support network, because we don't have any kids at the moment, just two fluffy furballs that like to wake us up in the middle of the night all the time. But, you know, looking to the future, if we decided to have kids, we have to take that into account, that we're not going to have the family support network, but hopefully we'll have built up some other kind of support network through friends that might be in a similar position as well, when you kind of rely and lean on each other, like we said earlier. So, but again, that's just kind of hoping. We can't guarantee that will be the case.
No, but if you were to have kids here, what a place to grow up.
Gosh, dreamy. Somewhere we would have loved to have grown up.
Yeah.
I mean, I was fortunate enough to live in Denmark and live in Spain when I was a kid, and then lived in England for a lot of time as well. So I kind of had like quite a varied upbringing, I suppose, but that was pretty cool. But yeah, I'd love for to bring up kids here, to be fair. I think it'd just be amazing, like that outdoor lifestyle. Just, yeah, being able to be kids.
Literally, yeah. I see kids now, if I was like probably the same age in England, they would just be not doing kids stuff, I don't think. Like here you still see them on their bikes, playing basketball, doing all sorts.
There's kids out all the time, playing outside all the time. And yeah, it's great. So what are our plans for the future? Well, we're going back to England. No, we actually are. We're not moving back, don't worry. But we are going back for a holiday this year, so that would be lovely.
Yeah, we have a wedding to go to.
Yeah, so I'm bridesmaid for one of my best friend's weddings, which I'm so excited about. So yeah, we're going to go back for a wedding and obviously have a huge catch up with all our family and friends. So we're so flipping excited for that. That'll be so good.
Yeah.
I mean, that will be exactly a year since we came here.
Yeah, it will.
By the time we go back there. Do you know what? It'll be really interesting to see, now that we've had like we'll have a year away from the place, from England, going back there, what we think. Like now that we've been exposed to Australia and all the amazing things here, what will it be like going back? How are we going to compare? Like, because now we're thinking of England, we look back at it of how we experienced it then, but now that we've had this brand new experience, are we going to look at it differently, in a good way or in a bad way?
Yeah.
Or both.
And it'll be exciting to give a bit of insight and show people what we were on about, for those that aren't aware. and then show the comparisons.
Yeah. So we'll definitely be doing some comparison videos and things like that, and keeping you updated on our Instagram and things about our perspectives and what we think, looking at both countries and stuff. So
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Just exploring this side of the world as well. So we'll go back to England later this year, and then we probably won't go back for a while after that, will we? We want to explore this side of the world. We want to do all of the New Zealand, lots of places in Australia as well. And obviously you've got Thailand and various places like that not too far away, so lots to do.
Yeah, we've got such a long list of places that we want to visit, don't we? I mean, we can't do all of that in one go as much as I really want to, but we will, over the years, you know, kind of visit these different countries, these different places, which will be so cool because we haven't been to this part of the world before.
No.
Before moving here, so that would be pretty cool.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the future. We'd also like to buy a house. Wouldn't we?
I think once we've recouped a bit of money, that might be an option. We'll start looking at our options for all that.
But yeah, so we shall see where it takes us. But at the moment, after 8 months of being here, in summary,
I think we're doing well.
we're doing all right. We're getting there. I think we've settled in now. Every day is like your normal, you know, mundane life, if you like. You're like, you still need to work. You still need to earn money. Like, you'll be working Monday to Friday or whatever it might be. And you still got your chores to do. You still got to go out and do life admin and all that palaver. But we wanted to move here for like the opportunity to have an element of sort of like your holiday vibes every weekend, or have the opportunity to go away for more than just 1 week a year.
Yeah.
And just have access to that if you wanted to every day of your life or every week of your life, you know? Overall, I think we're doing all right. It's been tough. It's been really hard. So it's not to say, you know, oh, come over here, everything will be fine. Then you'll be like, yay. Like, it could be, but also there'll be a lot of setbacks and a lot of things that you have to kind of work through. But is it worth it?
For us it is, I think, yeah,
For our
currently.
situation, yeah.
Yeah, I think we made the right choice overall, hard as it is some days.
Yeah. Some days you do question it and you think, oh God, why did I do that? Like, you know, it's so many other factors to think about, and you do question it. Of course you do. It'd be strange if you didn't question it. Such a big life change, because it affects so many areas of your life and the people close to you in their lives as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's others to consider as well sometimes.
Yeah. So it'd be weird if you didn't question it and think, why have I done that? Or is this the right choice? But I think when you sit down like this and you actually talk about it and reflect on it, I think it makes you realise why you came here in the first place. And I think that's the most important thing, is just to remind yourself why you came here in the first place, which is what we try and do, and try and, you know, be grateful for all the good things we've got here and why we moved here. So yeah, I think overall we're doing all right.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any questions from this video, feel free to ask. It's just a little update into how we are and where we're going. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.